What is the most ideal screen position for GPS infotainment or smartphone? That is what this video is about. And there's a reason I'm showing the Ford website, because I'm going to show you a few examples of screens done right and screens done very wrong, and where I position the screen in my car. What is the most important factor when it comes to legibility so you can read the screen while you're driving? It's actually height. You have to get the screen as close to eye level as possible without blocking anything. Now, I'm going to show you one of Ford's vehicles here, the 2022 Explorer. The outside look of the vehicle, yeah, it's great. Looks good. It's the interior we're going to talk about here. Now, this is a design that some people really hate. Ford got a lot of heat for this when they first introduced this. And this sort of also appears in the Mach-E. We'll show that in a moment. But if I go to the interior here, right there, let's full screen that. Yeah, that gigantic tablet screen. When this first appeared in the Explorer, oh my God, people were upset. They're like, oh, that is so ugly. Ford, how could you do that? What's my opinion of this? Yes, it's ugly, but it's actually correct. I'll get to why it's correct in a moment. I mean, you already have a good guess with the height thing, but there's more to it than that. Now let's go look at the Mach-E, and I'll show my car in a moment. So let's go over to Electrified, and to the Mach-E, and to the gallery. Okay. Roundabout to the interior. There we go. Actually, we'll do this one. Full screen that. Okay. More or less the same thing, but it is a different design because, you know, I will go to a different photo so you can see it a little better. Yeah, see this down here? On this one, they've got the wheel down here. It is actually quite an intuitive design because the screen goes through the wheel or behind it. There's no interruption, which is actually quite cool, just in the way they designed this. Okay, so there's the Mach-E. And finally, before getting to my car, which is not a Ford, by the way, we will go look at the Mustang. The current Mustang. And I say current for a reason, because the new one, there's been some changes for the 2024 model. This is the current model. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to stop right here for a second. As soon as the photo shows up, there it is. There's its screen. This is the worst screen of the lot, because it is the furthest away from the line of sight, for where your eyes look. The ideal position is the top third of the steering wheel. So if the screen is right here in the center, then it should match up closely, or as close to as possible, to the top third of the steering wheel. The ideal is to have the top of the screen just above the top of the steering wheel and just above the bottom portion of the windshield, where the line is right here. Which is why this is so terrible, because first of all, your gauge cluster is here. You have to look, your head is about here. You look down, which means you take your eyes off the road. You have to look all the way down here just to read this screen. And this is at the bottom third of the steering wheel. Not good. Not good at all. Now, for regular screen functions, backup camera and such, it's fine. As a navigation screen, useless. Totally useless. You have to go by audio, because you have to take your eyes from here all the way down here, darn near to a 45-degree angle downward. Eyes completely off the road just to see the map. That's bad. That's just bad. Now, I mentioned the 2024 model Mustang. If you know who Doug DeMuro is, he did a review of the new 24 Mustang just very recently. And guess what? Now they have a screen here and a screen up here, and they moved the vents down here, and the screen's not even here anymore. It's up near line of sight to your eye. They fixed it in the 24, but this current model year, that's for navigation useless. For everything else, fine, but navigation in particular, nope. Let's go back to the Mach-E now, and then to the Explorer, and then to my car. I know I'm teasing it a bit, but believe me, there's a reason. Okay, so here we are, the interior of the Mach-E. We'll go with this one. Very close to being correct, but not quite, because there's the top of the steering wheel and the screen is just slightly below. Almost there, Ford. Almost there. Now, of course, this screen is large, in charge, very usable, very extremely modern, because Mach-E is an EV after all. And, oh yeah, minimalist interior, which is how most EVs are. I do actually appreciate the gauge cluster screen, which I like the fact that they just made it smaller without this giant shroud around it. I think that's actually really nice. And it's distinctively Ford. It's not trying to, I mean, yes, there's obviously Tesla influences in here, but it's not outright copying a Tesla, which is cool. Yeah, it's a good car. But screen position could be a little better. And that's when we get to the Explorer. Now, as much as people cannot stand that giant screen in this truck, SUV, excuse me. Now, as much as that much is true, where is it? Down here. Okay, we'll go back to this one. Actually, before seeing this one, let's look at this one first. This screen option is a result of people complaining too much. So if you want a regular size, what people consider a normal size screen in a Ford Explorer, oh yeah, they do offer it. But you're missing out, and here's why. Look at the screen placement. It's above the steering wheel, just above, and above the bottom line of the windshield. That's ideal. And some people have also complained that, oh, Ford, why did you split the screen where you sometimes see stuff on top and stuff on the bottom? Because this right here is right where your eyes are. As ugly as this is, and yes, it's ugly, I will not take that away. It's ugly, but it's correct. And now let's look at my car. Dana. Look where I have my screen. It's almost in the exact same spot as here. A little bit higher. Does it block visibility? No. No, not at all. I have center mounted gauges in my car. It's an older car. It's a little commuter runabout style thing. But I used to have the screen down here. Actually, I can zoom that in a little bit. You can see it even better. I used to have the screen down here, which you may have seen in previous videos of mine. But I moved it up here, and oh my God, what a difference. What a difference. This right here, when you get to the top third of the steering wheel and above, slightly above, the angle of the photo makes it look like it's totally above the bottom of the windshield. It's not. It's just the angle. It's more like this, actually. I tried to recreate this. This is what I tried to do. I tried to recreate this image in my car. I did the best I could with my phone. The point is, this, oh yeah, fantastic. Now, I don't need a giant screen to do it. All I need is this. It just needs to be higher. That's why height is so important when it comes to screens. Now, this counts whether you are using a infotainment, which you don't have the choice of where it's mounted. You just take whatever the manufacturer gives you. Or your GPS screen like this, or if you use a phone. Screens are screens are screens. To read it while driving, it has to be up, not blocking anything. Like, I'm not blocking. Yes, I have a wire going down because I got to power it. That's the only real ugly part about this setup, but you know, what are you going to do? But I'm not blocking any gauges. I'm not blocking anything. My line of sight, seeing outward, outside the windshield, is clear. I can read the screen. I can hear everything that's going on. The OK Garmin voice command works. It's all good. It's all good. It all works. But when I had it down here, yeah, I was struggling a bit. But when I moved that up, what a difference it made. What a difference it made. So again, ugly interior on this Ford 22 Explorer, because it wouldn't be ugly with this. You know what they should have did? What they should have done, is if they took this one and just, can you imagine if this was, like, say here's the bottom of the screen, if it was right here instead, and the screen went up to a right, the top of the screen was right about here, it'd be perfect. It would be so perfect. And to be honest, that is kind of what they did in the 2024 Mustang. That's kind of what, now I'm wondering if they actually show it here under future vehicles. Yeah, they do. Do they show the interior? Oh, good. Oh, it's here. See? Look what they did. There's the bottom of the windshield. There's the top of the screen. One screen here, one screen here. Fixed. Done. That is correct. It does. You may look at it and say, oh my God, screens everywhere in a Mustang. What's going on? I can assure you, this is so much better of a driving experience. If you have to deal with screens in a car, this is so much better compared to the current model. If you're, I don't know if you're in the market for a Mustang or not, but if you are, just wait. Get this one. Get the 24. Or wait until 25 when the 24s drop in price after getting by a 1-year-old used one. But it's exactly what I said. They got the screens up, they put the vents down, which actually makes more sense because now it blows air more towards your body and towards your wrists. They get hot, well, you know, during summer while you drive, or that blows cool air or blows warm air, you know, during the winter and all that stuff. This is right. This is correct. That is what you want. For older cars, like the one I have, just get the screen as high as you can without blocking vision, without blocking gauges and such. Sometimes Ford, and I have no love lost for Ford, I'll tell you that much. That's why I don't drive a Ford for a reason. But this is correct. And the current 22 Explorer is correct. But the current Mustang, not this 24, but the 22 Mustang, no, totally useless. Totally useless for navigation, that infotainment screen. But this 24, oh yeah, look at this. It's exactly correct. Okay, I gotta backtrack a little bit. The screen could be a little bit higher, but that only could be because the photo has the steering wheel not tilted down. So you could tilt down the wheel a little bit. So it may be just the angle of the photo in this one. But I'm seeing the bottom line of the windshield over here, and this looks right. Again, see the Doug DeMuro video for the 24 Mustang. You'll get a way better view of this with full HD video and all that. For the car you got, do this. If your car allows it, that is the perfect position for best legibility. Whether you're using a phone or whether you're using a Garmin, this is right here. This is what you do.